Are you ready for a shocking revelation? Donald Trump, the former president, has a real chance of beating Vice President Kamala Harris in the 2024 election. But there's a catch. He's the one getting in his own way. Let's dive into the top 5 reasons why Trump could still win, despite the odds stacked against him. The 2024 U.S. presidential election is shaping up to be a nail-biter, with Kamala Harris surging ahead of Donald Trump in recent polls. However, Trump still has a path to victory if he can capitalize on Harris's weaknesses and avoid self-sabotage. In this video, we'll explore the factors that could propel Trump to the White House once again. So, let's get started. Chapter 1. Harris's lack of experience, the experience factor. Despite her impressive resume as a senator and attorney general, Kamala Harris lacks the extensive executive experience that many voters look for in a president. She has never held a position where she was the final decision-maker, and this could be a significant vulnerability. Trump can leverage this by highlighting moments where Harris has faltered in her role as vice president. For instance, her handling of the border crisis has been criticized. Many Americans feel that the situation at the southern border has worsened, with record numbers of migrants crossing into the U.S. Trump can paint her as unprepared to address complex issues that require decisive leadership. The contrast in leadership styles. Trump's leadership experience. Trump can emphasize his experience as a former president, where he navigated complex issues such as international relations, economic policy, and domestic challenges. His supporters often view him as a decisive leader who is unafraid to take bold actions, such as renegotiating trade deals and implementing tax cuts. Harris's leadership challenges. In contrast, Harris may be perceived as having a more cautious approach, which some voters might interpret as indecisiveness. Trump can highlight instances where Harris hesitated to take a strong stance on critical issues, suggesting that this reflects a lack of readiness for the presidency. The perception of competence. Voters often equate experience with competence, and Trump can capitalize on this perception. He can argue that his 4 years in office demonstrated a level of confidence and decisiveness that Harris has yet to display. By contrasting his record with Harris's limited executive experience, he can create doubts about her ability to handle the demands of the presidency. How do you feel about the leadership styles of both candidates? Do you prefer a bold approach, or do you think caution is more effective in leadership? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Chapter 2. The economy. Economic indicators. The economy is a mixed bag, with some indicators pointing to a potential recession. Inflation rates have fluctuated, and while job growth has been strong, many Americans are still feeling the pinch at the grocery store and gas pump. Trump can argue that his pro-business policies are better suited to steer the country through tough times. He often touts his tax cuts and deregulation as key drivers of economic growth during his presidency. If the economy takes a downturn closer to the election, he will likely position himself as the candidate who can revive it. The impact of inflation on voter sentiment. Current economic climate. As inflation continues to be a pressing issue, many Americans are feeling the financial strain at the grocery store and gas pump. This economic discomfort can lead to a shift in voter sentiment, making them more receptive to Trump's messaging about economic management. Trump's economic narrative. Trump can capitalize on this by framing himself as the candidate who understands the struggles of everyday Americans. He can argue that his previous administration successfully managed the economy, leading to low unemployment rates and increased wages before the pandemic. By contrasting his record with the current administration's challenges, he can position himself as the better choice for restoring economic stability. The appeal of economic messaging. Trump's messaging around the economy resonates with many voters, especially those in swing states who feel left behind by the current administration. He can frame Harris's policies as overly progressive, suggesting they could stifle growth and innovation. By focusing on pocketbook issues and promising to revive the economy, Trump can tap into the concerns of a significant portion of the electorate. How has inflation affected your daily life? Are you feeling the pinch at the pump or in your grocery bills? Chapter 3. The Debate Factor. The importance of debates. The upcoming presidential debate on September 10th will be a crucial moment for both candidates. Historically, debates can shift the momentum of a campaign. Trump's combative style and ability to dominate the stage could give him an edge, especially if Harris stumbles under pressure. Debates are often where candidates can make or break their campaigns. Trump has a knack for creating memorable sound bites and dominating the news cycle. If he can effectively challenge Harris on her policies and past decisions, he could sway undecided voters. On the flip side, if Harris struggles to articulate her vision or defend her record, it could be a significant setback for her campaign. Preparation and performance. In preparation for the debate, both candidates will likely be strategizing extensively. Trump may focus on honing his rhetorical skills and preparing for potential attacks from Harris. He knows that a strong performance can energize his base and attract undecided voters who are watching closely. Harris, on the other hand, will need to ensure she can stand her ground against Trump's aggressive style. If she can project confidence and competence, she may be able to solidify her support among moderates and independents. The power of memorable moments. Debates often produce viral moments that can shape the narrative of a campaign. If Trump can land a devastating blow against Harris or deliver a zinger that captures the public's imagination, it could give him a significant boost in the polls. Conversely, if Harris can effectively counter Trump's attacks and present a compelling vision for the future, it could energize her supporters and attract new voters to her cause. What are your predictions for the debate? Will Trump go for the jugular, or will he take a more measured approach? Chapter 4. The Enthusiasm Gap. The Power of a Base. While Harris has made inroads with key demographics like women and minorities, Trump still enjoys strong support from his base. His rallies are often packed, and his supporters are incredibly passionate. If he can harness that enthusiasm and turn out his voters in droves, it could offset Harris's advantages. Trump's base is motivated not just by his policies, but also by a deep emotional connection. Many supporters feel a sense of loyalty to him, viewing him as a champion for their values and concerns. This enthusiasm can translate into higher voter turnout, which is crucial in battleground states. Mobilizing the vote. Trump's campaign will likely focus on mobilizing his base, especially in battleground states. He has a proven track record of energizing voters, and if he can tap into the same fervor that propelled him to victory in 2016, he could close the enthusiasm gap. Moreover, grassroots efforts will be essential. Trump's campaign may deploy volunteers to knock on doors, make phone calls, and engage with voters directly. This personal touch can make a significant difference in voter turnout, especially in communities where traditional outreach methods may fall short. The role of rallies and events. Trump's rallies have become a hallmark of his campaigns, serving as a way to energize his base and attract new supporters. If he can continue to draw large crowds and generate excitement, it could help offset Harris's advantages in other areas. Additionally, Trump's ability to dominate the news cycle with his rallies and events could give him an edge in reaching undecided voters. What do you think? Do you believe Trump's base will turn out in full force? Or will Harris's supporters match that enthusiasm? Chapter 5. The Wild Card Factor. The Unpredictability of Politics. In a tight race, anything can happen. A surprise. October surprise, a game-changing gaffe, or a shift in the national mood could spend the entire election. Trump's unpredictability and willingness to play dirty could give him an edge if the race comes down to the wire. For example, if a major event occurs, such as a significant international crisis or a domestic issue that captures public attention, it could shift the focus away from the candidate's planned narratives. Trump has shown he can adapt quickly to changing circumstances, often using them to his advantage. The role of media. The media landscape is ever-changing, and how stories are covered can significantly impact public perception. If a scandal or controversy arises involving Harris, it could shift the narrative in Trump's favor. Trump has a unique ability to manipulate media coverage, often turning negative stories into opportunities to rally his base. If he can keep the media focused on Harris's weaknesses or missteps, it could create an opening for him to regain momentum in the race. The importance of fundraising. Fundraising will be crucial for both campaigns as they gear up for the final stretch. Trump's ability to tap into his base for small-dollar donations could give him an advantage over Harris, who may need to rely more heavily on large donors. If Trump can outspend Harris in key battleground states, it could make a significant difference in voter outreach and advertising. What do you think the wildcard factor will be in this election? A scandal? An unexpected endorsement? Share your thoughts below. As we gear up for the 2024 election, it's clear that Donald Trump has a real shot at winning against Kamala Harris. By focusing on her weaknesses, running a disciplined campaign, and avoiding self-inflicted wounds, he could pull off an upset victory. Of course, anything can happen in the wild world of politics, so stay tuned for more updates as the race heats up. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more political insights. Thanks for watching.